Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to this video in which we're going to take a look at the coolest Masters gear of 2020. So if you've been watching the coverage from Augusta, you may have spotted a few special edition items, a few things that you've not seen before, and Joel and I are going to discuss what those things are. We're also going to take a look at some of the big equipment headlines from the week. Right, let's get started. Right, Joel, so the first item we're going to take a look at is a TaylorMade TP5 ball, which I think probably most people watching this will be familiar with. But what has Rory got on his golf ball to signify Augusta Week, Masters Week?
Yeah, so Rory has a little peach icon on his ball this week, and there's three reasons for it. A lot of them I wasn't aware of, actually. So Augusta, as we know, is in the state of Georgia, and actually Georgia is nicknamed the Peach State. Also, the third hole at Augusta is lined with a tree called the Flowering Peach, and the name of the hole is also Flowering Peach. Third reason is that they sell at Augusta for the patrons. Obviously, there's no patrons this year to experience this and enjoy it, but they do sell a famous ice cream peach sandwich. And I've seen pictures of it, and obviously I've been to Augusta, haven't experienced it for myself, but it looks better than it sounds.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, so the next thing we're going to look at is another TaylorMade item, and this is their tour bag for this year. Quite distinctive, actually, and it's sort of taking its inspiration from the boiler suits that the caddies wear. It's always, every year, Joel, it's one of our most popular posts on our website in why the caddies wear boiler suits at the Masters. And it's because the sort of everyday Augusta caddies were given this uniform, this boiler suit to wear, so they looked smart. And then I think Augusta was one of the last of the majors to allow players to use their own caddies. So for a long time, I think up until about 1983, the players would have an Augusta caddy given to them. But then when they switched and were allowed to bring their own caddies, they kept the tradition of the boiler suit. Obviously, Augusta very strong on its traditions, and it's definitely one of the most iconic things about the Masters every year. There's an upper striped paneling on the bag that takes its cue from the canopy above the clubhouse entry. And inside the ball pocket, there's also a pimento cheese liner, which is pretty cool. And then accompanying head covers. Now, Joel, you spotted these bags for sale online, did you?
Yeah, you can buy them on the TaylorMade website. So the bag costs a whopping £500. So if you've got a few quid to spare, that could be an option for you. I mean, it does look really cool. It's kind of minimalist, but with those Masters colours, yeah, it looks fantastic. And the head covers as well, they're on sale individually for £50. So if you want to add something to your bag that's a little bit different, then definitely something to try.
Could well become a collector's item. And then, Joel, you're going to talk to us about the Callaway tour bag.
Yeah, so similar to the TaylorMade bag, really, in that they've launched a special Masters Maverick bag and head covers that go with it. You know, paying homage to the foliage that we see in Augusta, so the azaleas and things like that. You got azaleas on the head covers and similar kind of Masters theme colours, white and green. Looks fantastic. Haven't been able to find it for sale yet on the Callaway website, but I'm guessing it's coming soon.
And then also keep your eyes peeled for players like Ricky Fowler and Bryson DeChambeau, because they have a limited edition Cobra Puma bag, right?
Yeah, looks really good. Again, it's a bit more colourful, this one. Lots of flowers on it. It's for sale for £600, so a bit more expensive than the TaylorMade one. And it kind of matches the apparel and the shoe theme that they've got going on with their scripting this week. So it all kind of works in together as part of the kind of limited edition experience collection that they're wearing.
Now, Joel, one of the things that we tend to always see during Masters Week is some limited edition shoes, and there's quite a few, isn't there?
Yeah, Puma have launched a number of kind of Masters themed shoes. Some of them the players will be wearing this week, and others they won't be, but you can actually buy them. So the Puma tournament collection with the Amen part of tournament capped up, because this particular shoe has been inspired by the flowers that you see around Amen Corner. So the azaleas, white dogwood, golden bells, kind of feature within this shoe, or kind of inspire the design of this shoe. And you can buy this shoe online, but the players themselves, like Ricky Fowler, are wearing slightly different models, but they also are inspired by the Augusta flowers. So you've got Ricky Fowler wearing the Ignite Pro Adapt shoe with this kind of purple color, and the green flowers looks pretty cool.
And then one I spotted, Joel, was from Echo. It's, I think, quite a sort of significant year for Echo, because they really sort of came to the public's, the forefront of people's mind in golf when Freddie Couples wore their street shoe back in 2010. It was the first time I think we'd properly seen a real spikeless shoe. So Echo are marking the occasion with a sort of a limited edition S3 design that you can see here. It's being worn by Henrik Stenson and Eric Van Rooyen. And at the moment, it looks like these are tour-only versions, sadly, because I think they look pretty good.
Yeah, Echo S3, one of the most comfortable shoes this year, unquestionably.
And then, Joel, there is an Adidas limited edition shoe as well, isn't there?
That's right, yeah, the CrossKnit DPR Low Am. Again, not seen many players wearing this shoe out on the course. That might change for the rest of the week, but you can definitely buy it at retail. I think it's around £140. And it's inspired by the Crow's Nest, which, as we know, is the kind of quarters above at the top of the clubhouse where the amateurs can stay if they want to during the week. So obviously this is a nod to them competing for that Low-Am title come Sunday night. It's a spikeless shoe, looks really cool, quite minimalist, got that kind of mesh upper, but it is waterproof. And actually, of all the Masters themed shoes that we've featured in this video, I think this is possibly one of my favorites.
Oh, but well, we haven't talked about the Nike one yet. And there's a couple of different versions, aren't there?
So yeah, Rory McIlroy has been wearing a new pair of Nike Roche G Tour Fearless Together shoes, which are on sale now. And they're kind of a nod to the athlete's inner strength in moments of extreme pressure. And we've seen Rory and Brooks Koepka put videos on their social media channels talking about their fearless moments. And Rory in particular was talking about how obviously he was leading the Masters back in 2010, was it, I think? And obviously he collapsed on the back nine, but then came back 2 months later to win his first major at the US Open. So that was kind of his fearless moment. And Brooks Koepka also talked about how fear is something that he really embraces and, you know, isn't scared of. So yeah, good shoes, look great. They've got some funkier ones as well. You know, this is more of a classic design. They've got some really, really outlandish styles as well on their website, which you can buy. Some very interesting tongue options on those shoes. I think they're going to be quite niche, but if you want something a bit different, definitely check those out on the Nike website.
Okay, Joel, so let's now just switch to doing a bit of a roundup of some of the kind of key equipment headlines from this week. I think probably the first place to start would be talking about driver shaft lengths. So we're seeing, possibly, are we seeing a slight move from tour players towards wanting to use longer shafted drivers?
Yeah, I would say so. And this all comes from, you know, Bryson DeChambeau. He's the guy who's kind of leading this trend in distance and how it's helping him perform better. He was talking about testing. Well, he has been testing a 48-inch driver in the days leading up to the start of the tournament. And we're all asking the question, will he or won't he put this driver in play? And in the end, he decided not to, because he found his 45-inch version, actually, with that, he could still carry a lot of the bunkers that he wanted to. And he wasn't actually gaining that much by putting a longer shafted driver in play, like bunkers on the first hole, second hole, fifth, eighth hole, you know, even going over the trees on the ninth, he was still able to do that with his 45-inch driver. But we are seeing more players testing out longer shafts in an attempt to get more distance. And you kind of wonder why players haven't done this before. You know, the rules state you can go up to 48 inches, even though most drivers are around that 45-inch mark. But we're seeing players like Adam Scott, you know, he's using a 46-inch driver in the Titleist TSI4. We've seen Phil Mickelson, you know, he's got a 47.5-inch driver in the bag this week to help him get a bit more distance. So in addition to his longer driver, he's using a set of game improvement irons. So these are the Epic Forged irons. And as I said, game improvement, and these are really, really strong lofted irons. Whether he's using the same version that appears at retail remains to be seen. But you know, the 7 iron on these irons is 27 degrees. But the reason he's done it is because it's more down to kind of the turf interaction. So, you know, as we know at Augusta, they mow the fairways from the green to the tee. So the grain of the grass is always growing into the player. And as a result, if you've got a really kind of narrow sole with quite a sharp leading edge, it can be quite difficult to make clean contact with the ball, especially when the conditions are a bit wet.
Now, Joel, one trend that I think is starting to, again, gathering a little bit of pace is seven woods.
Just to reel off a few: Adam Scott, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tyrrell Hatton, Gary Woodland, Tommy Fleetwood, Louis Oosthuizen, they're all using seven woods. And I think it's just because of the versatility this club offers. So obviously it gives you really, really good height and stopping power into greens. So if the greens are firm, then you get a little bit of extra stopping power that way. But also the versatility from the rough. So I know a lot of the players put in a 7-wood, even 9 woods in play at the US Open because of that thick rough. They felt like the 7 woods just popped the ball out of the rough a little bit more easily. Obviously, this isn't really the case at Augusta, but players are just liking the kind of all-round versatility this club offers from different situations, different lies, versus a long iron, which can be difficult to hit.
And then the last thing I was going to speak to you about, Joel, was before the Masters started this year, there's quite a bit of talk about players wearing hoodies. I mean, pretty much sparked by Tyrrell Hatton wearing one pretty much all the way through the BMW PGA. Wentworth doing really well in it, and then some other players started wearing them. The sort of leading sports golf brands seem to all have a hoodie offering. So I think we all thought, this year we might see a hoodie at Augusta. Now the question is, if it's cool enough come Sunday night, do you think there's half a chance the person who holds the winning putt might be wearing a hoodie?
It's definitely a possibility. I think it's all a bit of a fuss about nothing, to be honest. These hoodies, they're not kind of horrible looking hoodies. They're pretty stylish. They're golf specific. I think they look pretty good. Yeah, we've seen a whole host of different fashion trends, down the years, even in recent years, from golf players wearing cardigans, hoodies, ties. Sandy Lyle was wearing some braces yesterday with his trousers clipped on. So players like to express themselves in different ways. I've got no issue with the hoodie, and if Tyrrell Hatton wins the Masters wearing a hoodie, I don't think this is a massive issue. I think it should actually encourage a more relaxed approach to golf apparel, and etiquette, and hopefully encourage more youngsters to play the game. So for me, it's a good thing.
Okay, thanks, Joel. Thanks for your insight there. I think we will try and put in some links below in the description to these different products that we've talked about. Where we can find those links, we'll put them in below so that if you are interested, you can take a closer look. Okay, so there you have it. That's our look at the coolest Masters gear of 2020. Before you go, please do leave some comments below. What did you think was the coolest thing that we showed in this video? We'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. And the last thing I'll say is that if you haven't done so already, please do hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. That will mean that you don't miss any of our videos as soon as we post them. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.